You ever notice that she never really starts to miss you until you've let go? Not when you're texting, not when you're calling, not when you're trying to show her how much you care. Number. She misses you the moment you finally stop, the moment you become silent, the moment you stop checking in. It's strange how someone only starts to feel your absence once you truly disappear. But there's a reason for that. And it's not just emotions, it's deeper than that. It's psychology, it's chemistry. It's how the human mind responds when something it once took for granted suddenly vanishes. When you're always there, responding fast, explaining yourself, showing love without pause, your presence becomes background noise, familiar, comfortable, expected. The brain adjusts. She starts to think, he'll always be around. But when you withdraw, when you no longer orbit her, her brain panics. Because humans aren't wired for losing connections easily. We're social creatures. Our biology rewards closeness and punishes separation. The brain reacts to absence the same way it reacts to physical pain. And when you let go, she starts to feel the ache, not of you leaving, but of her losing something she thought she'd always have access to. She might not miss you right away. At first, maybe she feels free. Maybe she thinks she's finally breathing without pressure. But that's the illusion. It's short-term relief. Because once the noise fades and space opens up, the mind begins to wander. She starts wondering about you, not because you reached out, but because you didn't. Silence speaks louder than any message you could have sent. Your distance becomes loud, and with every hour you remain quiet, her curiosity grows. Her brain begins to ask questions. Why isn't he here? Why doesn't he care anymore? Did I lose him for good? And here's the twist. She may not be missing you, yet. She may just be feeling the pull of what your presence gave her. The comfort, the routine, the validation. We don't just miss people, we miss how they made us feel. And you, in your silence, have taken away something that once made her feel whole. The security of being wanted, the reassurance of being needed. That's what starts to crack first. Then comes the nostalgia, the romanticization. She won't remember the arguments. She'll remember the good mornings, the comfort, the laughter, the safety, the little things you did without being asked. And she'll wonder how she didn't notice them more when she had them. This isn't manipulation. It's not a game. It's simply how our emotional wiring works. People don't process value in the moment. They process it in loss. That's when the brain starts connecting dots. That's when the heart starts echoing with what ifs. When you finally stop showing up, she's forced to fill the silence with memory. She replays moments. She reimagines what could have been. And sometimes she starts to regret what she let go of, just as you finally let go too. For people with anxious or avoidant attachment styles, this experience hits even harder. If she had an avoidant streak, your presence may have once felt overwhelming, too much, too close. But when you pulled away, the safety net vanished. And now, the space that used to feel like freedom feels like abandonment. On the other hand, if she was more anxious, your absence becomes unbearable. It triggers everything inside her that wants to feel close again. And yet, because you're not feeding that loop anymore, she doesn't know how to respond. She might start watching your stories, liking old posts, reaching out subtly, or she might not say anything at all. But inside, she's feeling everything. Letting go changes the power dynamic, not out of ego, but out of energy. You've stopped pouring, you've stopped chasing, you've turned inward. And in doing that, you've taken away the part of you she never had to work for. That's powerful, because now, you're no longer just a man she dated. You've become a mirror. You reflect back to her everything she's realizing a little too late. And here's the emotional truth that stings the most. She didn't expect you to actually walk away. She thought maybe you'd always try, always check in, always wait. But when you didn't, when you truly detached, it scared her. Not because she stopped caring, but because she never realized how deeply she'd come to rely on your presence. And now that it's gone, She's noticing the weight of that emptiness, that void, that missing piece. People often mistake attention for love, but it's in the silence that real emotions rise to the surface. When you're no longer around, you're no longer there to carry the emotional labor. So she starts carrying the memories. She carries the wonder, the regret, the stories she tells herself to make sense of it all. And sometimes, she starts to miss the version of you that she once ignored. She doesn't just miss the man. She misses the energy, the certainty, the safety net you used to be. She misses the way you held space for her emotions, the way you noticed things no one else did, the way your presence calmed her, even when things were silent. She misses the way you made her feel like she didn't have to be anyone else but herself. And most of all, she misses the man who never stopped showing up until he finally did. You became the mystery she can no longer solve, the open book that suddenly slammed shut. And the thing about mystery, it pulls people in. It makes them curious, makes them question their own choices. You didn't ghost her, you grew, and she wasn't ready for that. You let go, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. And in doing that, you taught her a lesson she wasn't prepared to learn. The emotional brain works in cycles. It loops back to what's unresolved. And if she never got closure, she's stuck replaying the story in her head. Maybe wondering if you ever truly cared. Maybe wondering what it was that made you finally stop. And deep down, she knows. Something in her energy pushed you away. And now, she wonders if it's too late to get it back. She might try to test the waters. A random message, a subtle like, a friend asking about you. But the truth is, it's not about what she does now. It's about how you respond to your own healing. Because the moment you let go was the moment you stopped being dependent on her attention for your self-worth. And that's powerful. That's what she senses. That's what she starts to feel. The shift, the evolution, the absence of need. She starts to miss you, not because you're gone, but because you finally remembered who you are without her. And that version of you, the one standing tall in silence, is the one she never expected. It's not easy to walk away. It's not easy to let go of someone you love. But sometimes, love is not about holding on. Sometimes, it's about releasing what no longer holds you with the same respect you gave it. And when you do that, when you finally choose yourself over chasing someone who didn't see your worth, you stop being her option. You become her lesson. So if she's missing you now after all this time, understand this. She's not missing the version of you that chased. She's missing the version of you who stopped. The version that said, I'm done trying to prove my value to someone who can't see it. That silence, that stillness, that peace, that's what echoes the loudest. That's what haunts her now. And maybe, just maybe, she's finally realizing what she lost. The very moment you remembered who you are without her.